It may be Human Rights Day for the rest of the world, but in this podcast, it's Human Wrongs Day.
Well, yeah, we're playing video games.
I don't think gamers are protected by human rights. I think once we pick up a controller, we put down our humanity.
100%.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to, I can't believe we're here, but episode 420 of the Video Game Choo Choo podcast. It is the weed number. We're there. It's happening. I'm John. I haven't done any drugs in my life. And I probably won't. So there you go. You're the squarest host in the land. Here to bring you into episode 420 of the podcast. Joining me this week, as per the usual, is Maverick. Maverick, how are you doing?
Hey, I'm doing all right. I actually do not have anything to partake in today.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you're not able to ring on the occasion.
It's all right.
Okay. Accept your acceptance. We've also got Lorelei over here. Lorelei, what's going on with you?
I'm back. I'm back on the pod. I'm doing really good. Doing really good. Excited to talk about video games.
Yeah, we're not gonna talk about the weed drugs this episode. This is a normal podcast for normal folks. We're gonna talk about video games because God, a lot of stuff happened, and by a lot of stuff I mean the Game Awards. I'm just thinking about the Game Awards here, just like what's going on.
There's a lot going on.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess would you all like to just hop right into it, or is there anything that you want to cover before we go into that?
No, I mean, like, honestly, this is probably going to be the bulk of it.
Yeah.
Yep. Pretty much. Go over the Game Awards and then we can talk about games. So that we can get excited about games again after we kill our excitement with the Game Awards.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, for the most part, I don't think it was like bad Game Awards. You know, it was what you would expect. It was not really awards. It was just trailers and all that. I mean, you know, they had a couple of people come up and talk. God of War won a bunch of stuff. God of War was the big winner overall, but Elden Ring got Game of the Year. Pretty much, yeah. That's basically what I expected. Lots of praise for God of War and Elden Ring winning a couple of things, and that was kind of it. Not anything too crazy awards wise, I would say. But a lot of stuff got announced. I'm just gonna hit it as it's listed on our doc here. So I guess the one that a lot of people are excited about, they're like the big, oh wow, amazing thing, was Hades 2.
Yeah,
I wasn't expecting at all.
Yeah, that was a wild announcement because normally all the Super Giant games up till now have been completely different from the last one for the most part. I mean, you look at what they had. They had Build the World, then they had Transistor, and then they had a sports game, and then Hades, and then now Hades, and Hades, I think, is the first to get a sequel.
Yeah.
Yes.
That looks very similar in style, but I don't know. It's more Hades, so why the fuck not? Because I still play that game.
Yeah, Hades feels to me as sort of like the culmination of a lot of what Supergiant has already been doing in a lot of their games. Sort of like the narrative, the isometric, isometric gameplay, literally in all of them. The maneuverability or story progression in a way that feels very Pyre got close to it, where it's not necessarily trying to be like a roguelike, but it is sort of like a repetitive nature once you get into the core game of it. And so to just see them sort of go, hey, we'll make more of it. I don't mind it. It also feels like the safest approach at the moment, given the way now Hades 1 got hit in terms of just having to be developed in the midst of the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it seems really neat. I think people have been able to deduce that this another canonical daughter, I believe, of Persephone, but in this case, it would be what seems to be trying to help out the gods against the Titans. So
Mm-hmm.
that's sort of like the pre-lore, if you will. Any Greek heads in chat, please help me out. I am way out of my depth.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks really neat. I never got into any Supergiant games. I bounced off of like Bastion and Transistor. But this seems really nice. I'm interested to see what's going on with like what they're gonna add to it.
Yeah.
Next up here, folks, old Kenneth Levine is back. I know we're all very excited. And we're all very excited to see what that bastard's got cooking. Not really. I'm not very excited at all.
Probably some objectivism kind of thing, and
it sure does look like BioShock. It's called Judas, and you're in space this time instead of in the ocean or on the ground or in the air.
Yeah, I was like, look, it's System Shock 4? Maybe?
I guess.
If you wanted to.
Yeah, if you squint really hard.
Yeah. And then they announced the title, and it was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it's Ken Levine for you. Let's see here. There we got the new Among Us update, which I think is a pretty cute idea. I think some folks were like basically doing this mode themselves, like anyway. They were just basically running those rules and just because it's a hide and seek mode. Where instead of like one or two or three people being the imposter and trying to like trick people into all the espionage and the murder and the arguing and the ejections, this time the person or persons, I suppose, who are the imposters are just constantly going around in monster mode and can kill people pretty much whenever, I guess. But the regular crewmates who are trying to complete their tasks just have to hide and run away from the imposter. So it's not about voting, it's not about all that, it's just pure survival. So yeah, I like that they put in another little mode for Among Us. Like it's very exciting that they're still updating it.
I genuinely like how they take popular like rule sets that fans come up with and just end up eventually just making them official, like, hey, this is a way you can play the game now.
Mm-hmm.
With like more official support in a way that makes it so all your rules, instead of just doing a hey, do this, it like the game fully 100% supports it instead of everyone just agreeing to a rule set kind of thing. I really like their development style on this game.
Yeah, they're very in touch with the community, and I think that's a good smart way to do it. Like just keep track of what people want, and then just do it. Just hey, we're here, we're listening to what y'all want. Here you go. You got it.
You also got a fun little Benoit Blanc costume for your little crewmate.
That's true. Yeah. If you watch Glass Onion, you will see why they did that. I'm not gonna spoil it. But Glass
Yeah, you're
Onion
gonna
was
see
just-
what he does in the movie.
you're gonna see what he does in the movie.
You're gonna see what he does in the bathtub.
You're gonna see it. That's all I'm gonna see. You're gonna see it.
Now, if I do declare, I would like to talk about my my dick and balls.
Fucking oh my god!
You will see it on the big screen.
Benoit Blanc bears all on Knives Out 3. Oh god, is that a knife?
God. Let's see here. We got that new Hellboy game. The what is it? The World of Weird. I think it's called that. I'm gonna double check because I don't remember what exactly it's called. I think it is World of Weird though.
The Web of Weird.
Web of Weird. Yes, Web of Weird.
Web of Word.
Weird. Word with a Y. Word. Not a lot of info. I guess Mike Mignola is actively like doing the art on it though, because it's got like his art style and everything, and it's all like it's all shaded. Got that that CG shaded kind of look to it. It looks cool.
Yeah, when I saw it, I thought it was going to be some sort of like Sable continuation at a first glance, but yeah, this is neat.
Yeah, our reactions to it kind of entertained me. You were like, "Oh, it's a Sable thing," and I see a silhouette, and I'm like, "Oh fuck, it's Hellboy."
Mhm.
I'm excited for more Hellboy.
It's like between that, The Wolf Among Us 2, I like leaning into indie comic spaces in order to find new material or just like work with more stuff than already is like there. It's a nice well to dig up from.
We got some fighting game news too. We got from both sides, the 2D and the 3D fighters. Street Fighter 6 got a little update. They introduced 4 characters, 1 returning and 3 new. DJ is back. I really like his new design. He's got like more of like a I don't know if I want to say like a disco-y vibe to him, but he's just like really leaning into his dancing. That motherfucker is dancing in this one. I don't know. I really like his new design though. But then there's 3 new characters. Let me make sure that I get the names right. Let me see here. It is Manon, who is a French ballerina who basically just attacks by doing her pirouettes and the like. We have Marisa, who is like this seems to be based on like a Greco-Roman gladiator, just a very very big muscle lady, absolutely whipping ass. And JP, who seems to have like dark powers of some sort, kind of looks like M. Bison's psycho power. So maybe he's somehow, like related to Bison, or maybe he's like the main villain or something. Didn't really say for sure, but I love how all these characters look. I love how this game just looks. Like I'm just super excited for Street Fighter 6. And hey, it's coming out June 2nd? Yes. June 2nd, Xbox, PlayStation, and PC. They showed off some stuff for like the single player, like a little bit there. God, this is just good. This is gonna be a good game. This is gonna be sick. I'm so excited for Street Fighter 6.
They're teaching you how to do inputs with minigames, and you're gonna get so many people on board.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they are actually like gonna be training folks to.
Yeah. Like, it looks like they took every single criticism of 5 and every single, like, positive thing everyone was saying about Strive as Like, cause Strive is absolutely the best Street Fighter game. Street Fighter 6 might once again be the best Street Fighter game when it comes out, because everything they've shown has me going, oh, I need that. I need that. Which is weird for me to say about Street Fighter, a franchise that I think I enjoyed more for the music than anything, and then they got rid of Indestructible, so fuck that. Third Strike is the best Street Fighter. Like, it's been a long time
really
since
good.
I actually genuinely loved a Street Fighter game, and like, I'm so excited for this one. The fucking beta was awesome. Like, the game plays really well.
I still remember when I initially thought about Street Fighter, like, my earliest genuine interaction with Street Fighter was signing up for a fighting game tournament at my local GameStop, having zero fighting game experience for like the launch of 4, and getting my ass beat, of course, but that didn't matter. Eventually, that's what led to a connection that got me a copy of Snake Eater for the PS2, which,
Hey,
so glad for that, ultimately. But yeah, my takeaway is that for the longest time, I knew about 2, and I knew about 4, but 3 was just that hole that I never bothered to ask about until just the general consensus was, oh yeah, Third Strike is maybe like the best 2D fighting game in terms of just pure drive or whatever. Like everyone talking up Third Strike and like playing it, and I'm like, oh wow, yeah, this is a pretty good one. 6 is definitely getting the hype, I think, deservedly, especially with a lot of what's being like seen so far.
Mm-hmm. And then, yeah, on the other end, the 3D end, we got some Tekken 8 stuff. So definitely not as much as Street Fighter 6. I bet Tekken 8 is probably a way far more out there, time wise, like late 2023 at the earliest. They did show some gameplay though, and they showed some returning characters. We got King. King's back. You don't got to worry about King. And we got a new Jack 8, who's all fucked up looking. He looks like he's in some kind of VR hellscape. And then of course, Law and Paul Phoenix are also back. I did have to actively stop myself from saying Paul Penis right there. Just to let you all know, just to be open to everybody.
We understand.
Thank you. And the last thing they showed was that June is back, which is pretty crazy because I think she's been dead for like 30 years. But
yeah,
also Tekken characters die whenever and come back whenever. Who cares?
they get thrown into a volcano once a week.
Death means nothing to Tekken characters. So
I mean, we got a Heihachi's wife last installment.
Mm-hmm.
Yep,
she's not even alive, but you get those tiger inputs.
Those tiger inputs are fucking cool. But yeah, she's that's a Jin's mom. So she's back. There's gonna be some kind of some kind of, you know, conflict with her and Kazuya and Jin for the fate of the world, I guess.
I mean, it's Tekken.
Yeah. So to get a little bit more info, apparently Harada did answer some questions.
Okay.
Through IGN. Tekken 8 takes place 6 months after Tekken 7, and while the father-son conflict in 8 mirrors what happens in 7, the conflict between Kazuya and Jin is a little different than the one between Heihachi and Kazuya. Still motivated by power and revenge, Jin's struggle is against the bloodline he inherited from his father and the Devil Gene itself. So, yeah, you know, Jin just sort of being the most I don't care about this of the the trio of awful Mishimas. It's sort of like, yeah, that makes sense. and why you would want to go back to June as a character to sort of be like, hey, you're not this. Don't worry.
Mm-hmm.
But I think something else mentioned is something along the lines of the heat system,
Mm-hmm.
which encourages aggressive play, whatever that means. But people are, people are thinking, oh god, if you're introducing the heat system into Tekken 8, I'm sure that there's some characters that you could add that definitely know about what it means to work with a heat system.
That's true. That's true when you think about it.
And so when I say that, how is Harada going to listen to that and be like, oh, don't you ask me for shit and misconstrue what I'm talking about?
You
Oh
know
my
what?
God,
Fuck y'all. I'm deleting Kiryu from the game right now. Shut up.
The announcement trailer for the announcement where it was like a special announcement from Harada, and it's just him sitting there in front of a fire, and then he just goes, "Don't ask me for shit," and then it shows the trailer for there's gonna be a trailer at the Game Awards. Which is weird because there were like 5 different trailers for the trailer at the Game Awards. What the fuck?
Yeah,
Save the
I mean,
date.
yeah, they wanted to just get people who are in Tekken to watch it. You know, the Tekken fans are a very loyal bunch. So you tell them, yeah, there's going to be Tekken stuff at the Game Awards. They're going to watch the Game Awards. If not, they weren't going to watch the Game Awards. But there was like some motion capture footage that got out there. It wasn't leaked or anything. They like officially posted it. But it did seem like Yoshi. It was Yoshimitsu. It wasn't Leo. I think it was someone else. It's like another character that people were like, "Oh yeah, no, that's definitely them." I don't remember who it was. It might have been Lars. But then also Roger the Velociraptor, because there was just like someone doing motion capture with a big dinosaur tail. So those characters are probably also in, which, like, you know, 2 of the 3 of those are not surprises. You know, like, oh yeah, Yoshimitsu's coming back for Tekken. All right. Lars is coming back. Okay, sure. But Roger hasn't been in a long time. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, Tekken 7 didn't have a single kangaroo or dinosaur, and that was disappointing.
Wait, Roger's the dinosaur. Is Roger the dinosaur or the kangaroo?
Roger is the dinosaur.
Okay, I wanted to make sure. Okay, yes. What's the kangaroo's name?
Isn't it Joey?
Yeah, no, it's
I'm Googling it right now. No, Roger is the kangaroo.
Oh yeah.
Roger is the kangaroo. Roger's wife. I just found out Roger had a wife. I'm looking at this right now.
And a child.
has a wife. Roger Jr. Alex is the raptor. So Alex could be coming back. Let's see here. We got the next game from Extremely OK Games, who are the creators of Celeste, called Earthblade. It looks a lot like Celeste. I'm not gonna beat around the bush there. It does have that same vibe to it, but it seems more. It actually has combat, so you're not just jumping around. You're gonna be fighting motherfuckers. Looks good though. Looks nice. I really like Celeste.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what comes up.
Yeah. I don't know. Any other opinions about Earthblade from what you saw? Diablo 4 is coming out June 6th.
It exists.
That's coming out.
Yep.
You know, still feels a little weird talking about Blizzard games, and I mean, there was a report, I think it was from the Washington Post, where they talked about how much crunch they had to go through for Diablo 4. But you be the judge. You make the call here. Cause I don't fucking know. So video games. There's a new Crash Bandicoot game, Crash Team Rumble, which I think is kind of frustrating that they called something else CTR.
Yep.
That isn't Crash Team Racing. But this one, I don't really grasp what like kind of game it is. Seems to be some kind of like fighting game sort of deal, or maybe. But the object of the game is to collect enough Wumpa fruit to fill up your meter, and then once it's all full, you win. You're just trying to collect enough Wumpa fruit, and then if you beat up your foes, they'll drop their fruit. So you gotta fight them. You gotta fight. You gotta win. You gotta kick some ass. Crash Team Rumble.
Yep. Certainly existed.
Here was a weird one. This one was so bizarre. I don't know who this is for. They announced Bayonetta Origins. It's like Cereza and the Lost Demon, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks kind of like Bastion, like gameplay wise. And you're playing as like little Bayonetta, like they specifically said it's the one from 3. The main one from 3, which is kind of annoying that they have to say that. But I don't really know who wants this. You know, like it's a weird thing. Like, I don't know, maybe there's a chance it could be good. It could be good. But also, why? Where did this
being
come
any
from?
good means that, and thank you, Rose, for putting the fear of God in me with this realization, is that this is trying to like add any sort of credence to all the new lore in Bayo 3, which is like the straight up like dregs of a lot of stuff that I don't like about Bayo 3. And so to have this game that visually looks stunning, I definitely like the visual aesthetic of it all.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want something that's gonna make me have to say, oh yeah, maybe it was a good thing that we talked about the Fairy King after all.
It's a weird choice.
Which is not a good thing. It is derisively and decidedly not a good thing that they tried to incorporate that whole subsection of fucking concept to their world.
Yeah. It's such a weird choice. It's just such a weird choice. And the fact that, yeah, like if they're gonna have to make like a whole new game to be like, we're explaining what happened in 3, it's like, come on. Come on. Alright, so this one is the big one. This is the big game announcement that everyone was super excited about, that everyone lost their shit. Armored Core is back. From Software is not doing another Souls-like unless this does turn out to be a Souls-like, in which case I will be mad. But it's Armored Core. Armored Core 6. This is a mainline Armored Core, new entry in the series. They just showed like a cutscene. Looks cool though. Big ol' mechs doing mech shit, killing each other, fighting, shooting missiles, doing swords. Looks cool. I'm sure it'll be good. I don't know. Are y'all excited about Armored Core? Do we have many AC fans here?
I'm an Armored Core. Well, I loved Armored Core 4. Armored Core 5 sucked the worst. But fuck yeah, I'm so excited. I've wanted a new Armored Core forever. It's like actually the FromSoft game I like that isn't Bloodborne. So I'm really, really excited for this one.
We'll see how it goes. I'm interested to see how people react to it, because it's such a different thing from Souls. Like they've just been doing Souls for a good long time, so I'm glad that they're doing something new. New-ish.
Yeah.
Pulling from a different wheelhouse.
Yes. Something different, I should say.
And then we play it, and it's like, what if a robot was doing, heavy attack,
Dark
light
Souls
attack, dodge roll? See, I would still like it for the sheer tenacity to give me a 6,000-foot mechanical beast with spider legs doing fat rolls.
Oh God.
Like that would wrap back around to being pretty cool, actually.
It'd be funny.
Yep. I'm down for that.
God.
Now with Armored Core, in the spectrum of, mecha to I know that it plays in a very particular realm of mecha, but like, are we dealing with a lot of robot beasties and like a lot of gnarliness to it? Can you have a robot that is kind of just a Gundam guy? What's the what's the level of variance that Armored Core offers?
I
A
don't know.
little
I
more
mean,
Mech Warrior.
And with Mech Warrior, with Mech Warrior, what is the variance there?
Customizable.
Customize. Okay.
Hmm.
Because I know, like, that's the part that a lot of people can be particular about. It's like, am I piloting kind of just a big guy? Am I piloting what's essentially a tank with an appendage? And people have preference towards one or the other. And so if this does kind of let you run the gambit, if the series in general has ran that gambit and allowed for a little bit of like a milieu of assortments, then yeah, that'll be cool
Mm-hmm.
to see more of it.
I'm interested to see that. And then I guess the last quick thing is, hey, they sure did say when Final Fantasy 16 is coming out, which is June 22nd. June's gonna be stacked next year.
Yeah.
Like Street Fighter and this and Diablo. That's a lot.
It's
That is
definitely
a lot.
a big month. Like, I do not know how I'm going to survive the summer.
Well, my answer is I'm just gonna get Street Fighter. That's my answer. Pick and choose your battles, folks. That's the real answer. I mean, I do want to play Final Fantasy 16 eventually, but that's the key word. Eventually. Eventually. All right, let's hear from y'all. Let's hear what's up. Lorelai, what have you been playing?
Well, most importantly, most recently, I've been putting a ton of time into Marvel's Midnight Suns over the last week since it came out, and I gotta say, I was expecting an XCOM style strategy game, and instead I got a deck builder strategy game.
It's like card game thing, right?
Yeah, it's straight up a card game where you're combining cards to make stronger cards and crafting cards of different rarities, and finish a level, you get to open a pack of cards and choose two of them. Maybe re-roll one if it's garbage after you've upgraded your base enough. It's got a lot of the XCOM stuff, but with no time crunch whatsoever.
Okay.
Like, I can do like 100 side quests if I want before taking on the next main story quest, so there's literally no time crunch. If I want to get overpowered as fuck before I even take on the first level, I can. Which I would say is cool, but the game doesn't get like interesting tactically until like halfway through. Like, you finish off, like, as you finish off side quests, main quests, it starts introducing more enemy types, and that's when the game gets interesting. So it's like, at the beginning, you've only got Venom that can randomly show up in your things when reinforcements are called or whatever, and yeah, Venom's an interesting, okay fight, but it's kind of boring. He just sometimes stuns one of your characters until you attack them to break his goo off of them. But then eventually you start getting, like, Sabretooth can show up, and he's got interesting mechanics. These these evil mud-like characters that like summon stones in the ground that if you don't kill all the stones, they become buffs for all the enemies, is, really interesting because it's suddenly like, oh, there are all these stones out, so I have to use multi-target abilities to break as many of them as I can, or the next turn I'm gonna get my fucking ass kicked. There's just a lot of really, really interesting things in the game, but it doesn't have the tension of an XCOM. It's definitely we made this for Marvel fans, so we want to make sure they can get through the game and that there's no possible lose condition. Which, I kind of appreciate, but at the same time, I like the tension of the timers and the, hey, I have to impress all the other nations from the first XCOM, that I can't ignore certain things or I'm going to lose out on money, which is going to fuck me in the long run. Like, losing out on that it definitely takes something away from the game, which is replaced by social link kind of stuff, where you're hanging out with people at night and giving them gifts so you can become best friends and unlocking skills that you get when they upgrade their friendship levels and stuff like that. So it's and like a huge little like hub area to explore and find collectibles that has a lot of interesting and fun puzzles to it. So there's a lot there. It's definitely worth playing. But it's like if this game came out like in 2012, it would have been like 10 out of 10. Like, for doing tons of new stuff. But like, it's a good game. A solid 8, solid game that's well worth playing, and I like the writing a lot. And when you send people out on individual missions, Blade has one that's just called Ice Skating Uphill, and that made me laugh a lot because some motherfuckers are always trying to ice skate uphill.
That's true, they are. They shouldn't do that. Anything else? Any other quick ones here?
Yeah, I've also been digging a bunch into Pokemon Scarlet. I've been playing Scarlet. My girlfriend is playing Violet, and we've been playing together. Hey, I finally beat a Pokemon game.
So what was keeping you from doing that before?
I just completely lose interest after like 10 hours.
Is there any like specific thing that like? Well, then what kept you going in Scarlet?
The writing is really, really good. Like, holy shit!
It's
like,
cute.
I was actually like hooked to the stories they were telling. Like, all 3 of them, I found really interesting. The Star story, the going after HMs with your boy, and just like every single little aspect of it, like writing wise, was really fun. And I also, like the open world was a little bit sparse at points. Like I do feel like there's a little bit of aimless wandering, but I actually really enjoyed that aimless wandering. It was like something I kind of feel like I needed after like taking a pretty big break from Final Fantasy 14. Like, I've dropped off that game. I've been like, okay, I'm just gonna play other things. And like actually dedicating time to more games. Scarlet has... I'm really, really liking a Pokemon game. Like, Arceus is probably the longest I had lasted in a game before this. I played that game for like 25 hours. And I really, really enjoyed it. But this one I will probably continue to play actively because I can... It's like, I wish the multiplayer was a little more stable. Like, after a while, you just have to quit the game and reconnect to everything. But it works well enough that I've been able to have a ton of fun with friends and my girlfriend and, all that. And it's just really nice to have that in a game.
Mm-hmm. I will say, honestly, I think the multiplayer is pretty much useless. Like, I've done it a couple of times with people, and I mean, like, it's kind of nice to just be, like, in the same world. But also, I'm just like, what am I getting out of this? What are they getting out of this? Like, how am I helping them? How are they helping me? And you're not. You're just in the same world, doing stuff. You could just do stuff by yourself. It doesn't really matter. The picnics don't really, like, like making the sandwiches together. It's not like making the sandwich itself is very fun, and then you don't really get any, like, bonuses or anything from it. So, I mean, the only thing that I would say is maybe, like, a bonus is, like, oh, I got some Herba Mystica and you don't, so I can share it with you.
Yeah.
That's, like, really it.
That's what I like about it, though. Is
I guess
the fact that we're just hanging out in the world together rather than, I don't care that I'm not really helping. I care that we're able to take dumb selfies together and stuff like that. And it's, it's a cool way of being able to hang out with a few friends and just waste time, I guess. And I appreciate that.
A hardcore gamer like myself needs to have motivation, or else I think it's worthless and wish to cast it aside. So that's my fucking problem, I guess.
But yeah,
if it's not helping me get shinies faster, then I don't want to do it.
But yeah, I've just really been enjoying that. Just chilling.
Have you found any shinies?
I accidentally found a Wooper. And I did not know it was a shiny.
It sparkled though, right?
Yeah, I only found out once it hit. Once I hit it with a ball, because guess what? Colorblindness sucks. They actually need to add some colorblind filters to the game because it's actually really kind of bad in that way. There are multiple things like that I've seen images of online of this is next to its shiny, and like, oh yeah, that's easy to some people will be like, that's easy to tell apart, and I'm like, wait, what? They're exactly the same. What the fuck? Yeah, so add more colorblind options, game developers, please. Please.
No, it turns out everyone was sending you an image of a shiny Pokemon side by side, but it was with the filter that made everything look like Gengar and shiny Gengar.
Yeah. God.
That's my favorite.
That is the thing that's super frustrating, is that they added a new, like, a new good layer to it with the sound in Legends Arceus when one spawns, but they got rid of that sound, and I think that sucks a lot. Yeah, the sound should be standard, especially now that you're not running them into them in the grass and all that. You can pretty easily miss it.
Yeah. And it solves the issue. Well, it doesn't completely solve the issue, but knowing one is there helps a lot.
They also do just need to make the shinies different enough for people, like, consistently. Because, yeah, like, I mean, there's going to always be some form of colorblindness thing that's going to make it a bit difficult. And, yeah, there should be options for that. But also just, like, if you're not going to have the sound or whatever, there should not be... I mean, honestly, I don't think there should be any shinies that don't have, like, a big difference.
Yeah.
Especially nowadays. Because, like, yeah, like, fucking mouse holds and, like, Tandem Mouse, it's... I think it's just that the little, like, shirt and pants on them are, like, lighter. And that's all it is. So you cannot tell from a distance. And, like, Char Cadet, I recently went out and got a shiny Char Cadet as a gift for somebody, and really hard to see because it's only their eyes that are different. It's just instead of having red eyes, it has blue eyes, and that sucks. Like
Yeah.
it should just be a completely different color. Like make it obvious for people who are just walking by. People are gonna miss these things. That sucks.
Yeah. Especially with the open world elements and you're just seeing them all out there.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, you could see one of those up from behind. It very well could just be a shiny. You got no idea unless you can zoom in the camera on its fucking eyes.
Yeah. I mean, you kind of can, like, but also I'm not gonna say that that's okay. It's still not okay.
No.
It's very frustrating.
Even give it like a little sparkle filter,
Yeah.
Yeah, make it like consistently sparkle or something. Yeah, give it something consistent so you can tell from a distance. Maverick, what have you been playing?
So last time I talked about just being in the free trial for Need for Speed Unbound, really enjoying it. I went ahead and just bought the whole thing because I was like, whenever I get a racing game, it's like it's a nice little kick to have for a minute. And since this one was set up in such a way where I knew that I could have like a perceivable endpoint, it was like, well, I might as well. And I really enjoyed my time with it. So after that initial prologue where, yeah, the 10-hour trial gets you like through sort of like the beginning phases of the prologue, it gets you just into the setup of what the game is, where basically you have 1 month to make it to the grand street racing event. In that event, you basically run 4 cars eliminator style, and at the end of that, you are going to be getting the car that your old friend stole from you in the lead up of the prologue. There's drama, there's family, there's it's tongue in cheek about the fact that it kind of is like a Fast and the Furious side story, but it's not the worst like a lampshade hanging that I've found so far. There's some stuff that landed, there's some stuff that is kind of whatever. Your like father figure ends up getting a Reddit account to follow all the drama and like some of the calls that you're in with him whenever he's like, hey, go pick up this car that you like someone sold to me and bring it back to the garage and I'll give you some money for that. Occasionally you'll just be like, oh, by the way, I found out on the forum like there was some drama going on, and it's like,
uh-oh.
Yeah, that's definitely a dad getting into Reddit. They hone into the energy well. You immediately get attached to a person that wants to be involved with the street racing scene but is like so detached from it, where it's like if she's like, ooh, are we going to be racing for pinks, anybody? And it's like, you sure have watched one show. Like it pokes fun at the I think like perception of street racing from people that want to be like around the scene, and then what it would be like to actually be a part of it. And I mean, I feel like a lot of games lately lean into the flavor of social justice as part of their narrative if they're going to be in a contemporary setting, just because they know that it's a thing that's going on. Like Watch Dogs 2 does a lot of it, where it kind of has some stuff to say, but it never really commits to it, which in that case is very frustrating because of the fact that it is like very quick to go off story beats, but at the same time it's like you have something that's actually willing to say, oh yeah, like the lack of people of color and in particular black folk in tech spaces is daunting, and the way in which you sort of have to like accept that as soon as you actually get a job in the industry is a nightmare, and to have someone else to relate to that in any capacity is a blessing. But never mind that, we got to go back and do tech stuff. Need for Speed Unbound is more freeform about it. Like, there's an ongoing narrative about like the mayor in this not Chicago, Lakeshore City, and like what she might be doing to like try and restore justice or whatever, which is like lampshaded by the fact that you're off minding your own business, but all the while like cops are on your ass 24/7. Like I got pissed off a lot at this game.
Mm.
And part of it is the heat system, which is like, rack up enough police notoriety, do enough races, more cops will be on your ass, and it'll be a pain to like genuinely get done. Like I scummed. I would actively close the game and turn it back on in order to start at like a bait, like still with like, heat level 5. There's choppers around. There's like the state troopers and their SUVs that'll fuck you up if they ram into you and whatnot. But no one has noticed me yet. Maybe I can try and maneuver. And the maneuverability is fun. It is actually pretty enjoyable to like hit those breakneck speeds, try and outmaneuver the cops, and then like dive into like the farmland that's nearby, turn off the engine, turn off the lights, and just sit in silence away. And then as like you see things gear up again, all right, let me try and turn on the key again. The franticness at which like the engine doesn't immediately let you go. You gotta have to let it. You have to let like rev up a little bit, and then you can get out there. Like it added to a level of like the panic, and it was like, oh man, yeah, I gotta like if I can't securely beat anything on the road, then I gotta be able to make sure I know my way around the map. And that as well, it also helped to sort of like prioritize just the landscape that you're racing in, which by the end of it I really appreciated. That said, I think like I mentioned being there being a bit of a learning curve to the game overall, and I would say that still tracks. So those 4 cars that I mentioned that you need for the end of the month, like each week is like you have 5 days to make money through races, through other events and whatnot. That money you need as a buy-in for the big race at the end of the week. Other races throughout the week might need you to do buy-ins. So like you got to manage your money. You got to be mindful of that. You also have to put money into your cars because you also need 4 of them. And you need like the cars are ranked from like B through S. So you need an A plus, an S, and an S plus. And so the way that I ultimately went through mine, because one option is, you can like actively go through the catalog and buy and sell and like do stuff that way. For me, I kind of opted for my the card that I chose after my after the prologue, because it gives you sort of like 3 other choices to pick and choose from to like build from the ground up. I ended up going with like a Honda Civic, and it was an interesting journey to go from like the initial rank of B, where it's like slow to start, kind of chunky. It's like expected to be a little rough as you're like trying to start from the bottom and work your way up to a very lean car. To by the end of it, like that shit was fast, but also I would often get into a scenario where if I had to like maneuver ever so slightly, that could throw the entire momentum of the car off, and then it would just be sliding and skidding everywhere else. And it was like, oh boy, this is another level of difficulty that I have to figure out, because part of it is also baked into some of the races where it's like you'll be going through a course and all of a sudden it'll say, I need you to do a 90-degree turn right now. And it's like, oh, bet. You drift and you have like the most back force possible in order to just have that entire shift of momentum without actually losing your speed. And when you drift, you actually gain like sort of like a boost, like a nitrous boost, which is more of like a successive thing. And you can just hit that quick tap and then it's like, boom, you're right back in the momentum and you're just like snaking that around. This game, I feel, actually helped me get a better understanding of how to drift in like most like arcade racers now, just because of the way that it's like it begs you to do so if you want to get some of those harder races. And it's interesting to see a game just sort of like eventually, because I started at regular, which is like a level of aggressiveness from the from the rivals, level of aggressiveness from the cops. You get 4 retries per day, so that's per day and night cycle combined. To easy, where it's allegedly things are a little easygoing, and you get 10 retries. That doesn't mean that the races get easier, though, and I definitely had days where it's like I go through all of my retries on just like one race, because it's like I already bet everything that I have to double it. I'm being the Howie Bling of street racing at times, and I'm just sitting there like agonizing in my choices, but then at other times it's like I win the race and it's the best thing ever, and I'm the greatest, and then someone walks into my room and shoots me with a gun. But no, it was a lot of fun.
That's good. Yeah, I'm glad that there is a new Need for Speed that people seem to be attached to, and it has an aesthetic that people like, and that it's just a good, fun racer. That's good. I don't have anything new to talk about. I'm actually almost done with Xenoblade, though. Like, actually for real. Right at the end. Like, I'm at the point of no return, quote unquote. That was the last thing I did before I stopped playing last night, before I went to bed. It's real. It's happening, folks. I'm going to finish that game. I can't believe it. I'm scared. I'm a little scared to finish it. So, like, when you have something so consistent in your life and then you're not going to have it anymore. Because I've been playing Xenoblade all year. I did all of 1, and now I did all of 3 this year. Like, I'm not going to have Xenoblade anymore. What am I supposed to do?
There's always Xenosaga.
Oh, well, I do have Xenosaga 1 and 2, like, on the docket, so I could just go right to that, I guess. I'm not going to do that. I want to play through AI 2, Nirvana Initiative. I really want to play through that, so that's what I'm going to do next. I'm excited.
Yeah,
but I'm also very glad that I played all the way through Xeno. I'm also excited because I got that special edition. I'm going to crack into that art book. I'm going to look at that.
Yeah.
Then I won't have any spoilers after that. I mean, honestly, I could probably do it right now. Because, again, I'm like right at the end. But who knows what happens? Or, who know what transpires? Maybe I'll crack open that art book and I'll flip to one of the pages and it'll just be like, oh, by the way. And I'll be like, great, thanks.
Here's a post-game side quest secret.
Yeah. I mean,
you could always get into the Trail series.
Ooh,
I'm not opposed. I mean, I have one of them. I have Cold Steel 1 on PS3, which is a very silly way to have that game, but I do have it.
Not really. That's where I first got it.
Well, yeah, we'll see. I mean, I got Live Alive, however you say it. I got shit to play. I got shit to play, folks. Don't you worry about that. Alright, well, let's see here. We got news. We still got more news. And the Microsoft update, everybody. We've got 3 big Microsoft news stories. Boom, boom, boom. First off, in good news, ZeniMax's QA staff have voted to unionize, and Microsoft has voluntarily recognized the union. So there's going to be a lot less hoops to jump through for them. They're just going to be recognized. And, Microsoft has pretty much just come out and said, like, yeah, we're going to be recognizing, like, unions that are formed under us. So there you go. That's a nice step forward. And, there have been other, like, unions in, like, Activision Blizzard popping up lately. And those have been a bit stuck in the traffic, as it were.
Yeah.
But if the Microsoft acquisition does go through, it does seem like that will be a lot easier for them because, yeah, Microsoft said they're just going to recognize unions. So if the acquisition goes through, their unions will just be, they'll be good. But there's a chance that that acquisition may not go through because the FTC actually sued Microsoft for their acquisition. I have seen some people way smarter than myself talking about this court case. It kind of seems like one of those things where the FTC doesn't think they'll actually be able to win, but it's more one of those things where the court case would be so costly for Microsoft to fight that it might make the acquisition not worth it to them anymore if they were to fight it. So it's one of those things where it just seems like they're having a standoff where like the FTC is basically just betting on Microsoft not fighting, and if Microsoft fights, the FTC will just fold immediately. So it's just it's just a standoff right now. It seems like I don't really know. It's all a bit silly, you know. Government is very silly. I am interested to see how this shakes out because yeah, you know, like it's a frustrating thing where you know this is absolutely bad for competition and bad for the consumer overall. Where you know just acquisitions and all these mergers and you know making big companies into bigger companies is pretty bad. But then also at the same time, like, yeah, like, you know, Microsoft has said that they're going to be recognizing these unions, and hopefully Bobby Kotick could be out of there if Microsoft picks them up. Like, that's what it seems like will happen. So it's this, like, you know, two sides of the same coin kind of dealio where it's like, man, you know, things would probably end up better for a lot of the workers at Activision Blizzard, but also, you know, conglomerations are not good. And I don't know. It's one of those things where, like, it's just the way that capitalism works fucking sucks, and I wish it wasn't like this, and I think that either way, shit is frustrating and bad, and I don't like any of it. I don't like any of it. I don't like any of it, but I also want the workers to be in a better spot. So if this acquisition goes through and all these unions start popping up and Microsoft just signs off on all of them, then sure, I will at least take that.
Yeah.
You know?
I think one take I have seen at the very least when this was brought up in other spaces is that as it stands, the NLRB, the National Relations Labor Relations Board, and sort of just like the agency that would be involved with like U.S. labor law, collective bargaining, unfair labor practices, they are more pro-union as of late, and so even in the case like everything regarding, I want to say, the Activision Blizzard union busting tactics, I think at this point they're at a situation where it's like, you know, well, this is the last possible thing we could do before ultimately having to say like, yeah, okay, we're going to recognize it or whatnot. And I think that is an overall like positive, so to say, because yeah, like it's cool to hear that Microsoft would normally like recognize unions that like it has underneath its body of work and its companies, but at the same time, like that wouldn't necessarily make me eager to say, oh man, if that's the case, then everyone should be under the Microsoft umbrella.
Yeah. Like, no.
No, like it's a good thing that those that are already like in that sector at least have a space to like get that across. I think it would be definitely something to notice as more unions do pop up, and whether or not that same like support would be there now that multiple like companies and staff would be asking for a like specific set of like demands. But that again, it's all set to see. And not like, if anything, yay to more unions, boo to everything having to be under one company.
Yeah, absolutely one of those things where you're just like, I guess I'll take this, but please slow down. You know, like I'll take what I can get, I guess. But the last bit of Microsoft news here is, again, if this acquisition does go through, Microsoft has agreed with Nintendo to put Call of Duty on Nintendo consoles for the next 10 years. So that does not just mean Switch, it means for whatever happens after that. Call of Duty's back on Nintendo consoles, folks, and that means really weird but interesting ports, I guess. Like, y'all remember those Wii ports of, like, Modern Warfare and all that?
One of those was actually pretty good.
I mean, they're, like, pretty decent, you know? Like, they're weird and different and, you know, they're but, you know, I think there was, like, a Scott the Woz video about them that probably explains it way better than I could, but yeah, they're one of those things where it's just like, man, like if you see this at like a game store for like $5 or whatever, you should just pick it up and mess around with it for a bit just to be like, yeah, I played Call of Duty on the Wii.
Nah, it would, for those, it would probably be like, oh yeah, for the Switch streaming thing they did with, you know, they've done with Resident Evil and all that shit. That's probably what it would be for right now, at least. Yeah. And then, yeah, the next console.
Yeah, I'm sure whatever console they come out with next is going to be, you know, it's definitely not going to be as strong as the PS5 or the series and all that, but like I'm sure it'll probably be like comparable to like a PS4 or something like that. So they'll be able to at least they'll be able to somewhat keep up with the games that are coming out, like the Call of Duty games that are coming out on PS5 and series. Like they'll be, I mean, you know, they're still making all these games for PS4.
And they made the same offer to Sony, and Sony has not agreed to it.
Yeah.
So,
Phil Spencer did also say that Call of Duty will continue to release on Steam. So yeah, they're trying to make sure that Call of Duty continues to be available and everything because it is the biggest fucking game release like every year.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I'm sure the American government really wants everyone to keep playing those games wherever they can, you know?
Yep. You got to be able to do your de-escalation tactics on any console.
Yeah. You know, again, I don't want to yuck anyone's yums. I know, like, yeah, Call of Duty games are fun. I'm not gonna be like, fuck you if you play them, but also, yeah, be aware.
Yeah, no, like, I'm sure anyone that listens to a video game podcast and listens to a first-person shooter, I feel like to that extent, you recognize the difference between, oh, this is fun to play because I like to do shooting, and, you know, I necessarily need to go through the experience of, you know, doing war crimes as a sector of the United States.
Hey, sometimes you play as British people.
Right.
Just doing British war crimes, yeah.
Yeah. No, if anything, it gets me thinking sometimes about, like, you know, the current state at which we love to, or gamers love to just stick at our video games art, and it's such a derivative argument at this point. Like, anything's art. To create something as a human being is to, at some level, pursue an artistic interest. I was thinking about this morning, wanting to talk about Need for Speed, because, like, if anything, that game does a really good job of portraying the craft of the automobile as art to an extent. Not just with, like, the liveries and whatnot, but to, like, really sit there and think, what are the pieces of my vehicle that I want to combine in order to give the performance that I want? There's, like, an entire button or, like, section dedicated to, like, revving the engine so that you hear the actual sound of the engine that you want, which for me, it does nothing, but for people that would care about that, you know, this underlying concept that comes up of, like, we are a scene, we are a community, we got to be able to represent in some capacity. And that can show up in other facets as well. I would say it goes more for other first-person shooters, but I think like in a similar way, there's at least an understanding of the craft to what is presented there.
Mm-hmm.
But that said, Call of Duty, more like Call of D's nuts.
Oh, shit. You got him.
Zing.
Finally knocked him down a peg. Got him.
They call me the man of many flavors, the man of multitudes.
And one of those flavors is not being a fan of soap.
I guess so.
Let me tell you, I don't mean to like talk too much shit here, but it was kind of weird being at work and like having one of my managers talking about the new Call of Duty and being like, yeah, I'm so glad that they brought Soap and Captain Price back. And I'm just kind of sitting there like, I know who those characters are, but like I can't like imagine like, I don't want to be like a normie, but like a someone who plays like 3 video games a year who's like excited about characters in Call of Duty. Like I'm just like, yeah, I guess these are like the recognizable video game heroes to people, you know? Like you walk up to somebody and you're like, yeah, what video game characters do you think of? I mean, yeah, they'll probably say like Mario and Pikachu and Sonic and that, but then they'll probably just be like, oh yeah, and Captain Price. And I'd just be like, yeah, that wouldn't come up to me, but you know, that's they're in a different kind of world than I am, I guess, you know? It's something to think about.
Sometimes you just gotta obsess about Soap and McTavish.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that I still remember his full fucking name, and I actually haven't touched a Call of Duty game since the original Modern Warfare 2, is... Hey, it sucks having a photographic memory.
I played through a lot of those campaigns just because my brother would get them every year, and you know, he would just play multiplayer, and I would just play through the campaign. Basically, like I would just be like, "Yeah, I just wanna see what's going on with this," and like, you know, like yeah, like I mean, those original those Modern Warfare campaigns were like pretty well designed, at least, you know, like people have good memories of a lot of those missions. You know, I don't think the story stands up at all, but. You know, I still, you know, there's so many, there's all the moments that people remember, you know, everyone remembers like all gillied up and no Russian and like throwing the fucking knife in the guy's head and all that shit. Like people remember that. But, you know, at the same time, I'm just like people like, oh, that's one of like the best video game moments. And I'm just like, I don't know. I mean, I guess those are pretty cool, but does anyone remember when they did the Delta episode in Pokemon Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, and you flew up into space on the Rayquaza? So that was pretty fucking cool.
My favorite Call of Duty moment was in that streamer was screaming about how like you don't need anybody else in this world, and then it transitioned into the fucking kill shot fan cam with 30 seconds to Mars. And then also whatever that fan art is I've seen of like Soap or Ghost, I guess, but they're like a hot lady in the car.
People are like so like they're like yowifying the Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 characters, which like all right, I guess. You know,
I don't know.
I just see people using that picture of Ghost where like he looks like he's gonna like jump across the car and start beating your ass.
Sometimes
as a reaction image.
Yeah, sometimes I just think about gender-swapped Captain Price, and I just go,
all right,
I can't even make that joke.
She called him a duty till I
got the big red one.
She captain on my price till I'm no Russian.
Oh my god.
She Ronald on my Reagan till I trickle down.
Yeah, till I'm trickling down.
Fuck you.
Lorelai, please include like the loud buzzers during all of this.
Jesus, I might have to fucking download audio files to.
All right, should we do our last bit of news here, or Lorelai, do you want to talk about your game first?
Let's talk about my last game. So it's
Go
honestly probably going to be my game of the year at this point.
Don't give it all away for free. Come on.
Harvestella fucking rules.
Okay.
The beta of it, not that great. I liked it, but like the time would just like go way too fast. They fixed all the issues I had with the beta in the final version. And it does something like Xenoblade 3, in that the main story is good, but all of the side quests are fucking incredibly well written and have like so much heart and emotion to them that they add, like, it makes the game like 100 times better than it would have been if you didn't have all the side quests. Like, when you're first starting out, you're just like, oh, this town is full of generic people. I really don't care. At first, it's just a farm game. I'm gonna talk to the named NPCs and, whatever. I might, do a couple of things. And then you start getting all the side quests just for, like, unnamed boy in town and things like that. And, like, you start getting to know, like, everyone in all the different towns. And it's genuinely incredible writing in the side quest stuff. Like, the farming stuff it's okay. It exists. It's definitely more of an RPG than a farming game. In the end, the combat system is really fun as it opens, especially as it opens up. Like, as it opens up, it just gets, like, you get more and more jobs and can just do some wild shit eventually, which makes the game a lot of fun. Like, being able to switch jobs, like, on the fly super fast, and, like, all of the things open up a lot of, like, fun combat with the game. And then but yeah, like, the story is what kept me going, like, big time. Like, the combat good, the story is incredibly well written, and, like, I definitely say if you're wanting a Rune Factory like game that has more emphasis on the story than the farming, like, you still have to do a little bit of the farming because you need money for stuff, but, like, for the most part, you could just do fishing. Fishing is super easy, super fun, super easy, and get you a shitload of money. But yeah, like, there's a ton to do if you want, but you don't have to engage with all of it if you aren't enjoying that aspect. There are ways to get around it. And the writing is fucking phenomenal. So it's really nice to have a game like this after Rune Factory 5 was such a disappointment for me. So, like, it's well worth buying if you haven't are interested in those kind of games. And even if you aren't and are just a fan of good RPG stories and good RPGs, this is a great one.
Maybe if I didn't have 300 million of them to play right now.
Oh, I know.
No, I'm glad to hear. Like, I feel all I've ever heard about Harvestella was very just like, it's so whatever. It's not really much of anything. And so, to hear that it's actually more of like an RPG with farm sim mechanics is definitely something I didn't expect.
Yeah, it's really like, hey, I just want to spend a couple of days of the game relaxing, doing some side quests maybe, instead of pushing the main story forward. You could do that. You just spend a couple of days chilling out, making some money, doing whatever. Like, and Or you could just, hey, I want to grind a few levels before I push forward. You could spend a day just going out hunting and fighting monsters and getting crafting supplies. It's really nice to have these kinds of games where you get both the action and the farming, and you don't have pressure on either, really. Like, you don't feel as much of the time crunch. The time crunch is at the end of every month, you get a day of everything being dead, and everything dies, and then the next month starts. So it's just like, it's interesting, and then all the social stuff waits until post-story. So if you want to do the marriage stuff, you can. It just, you can't get married until after you finish the main story quest, and then that's all post-game stuff. For, like, if you really want to grind on the farming stuff and the life sim stuff, that's when you do that, when you're done with the game. And it's kind of nice when you're done with the story. So as I said, it's much more RPG than it is farm sim in that regard. But yeah.
All right. Well, we got one more bit of news here.
not so much news as it is just another slam dunk.
Hey,
here's
the best part. We opened the last episode with it, and now we get to close out with it.
Folks, guess who got arrested again? Yuki Naka is back in the slammer.
Not even. He's still in there, but they put the handcuffs on him again.
You're going into jail too.
He's got the magnet boots from Face Off now. for once, let it be known again, for insider trading.
This time it was because he bought shares in A-Team, the people who made Final Fantasy VII: The First Soldier. He put almost $1 million into it, so made a lot of money off of that investment. But now he is jail prisoner, and not even Balan or any of the Tims can save him now, because he did not treat them correctly. Maybe if he was nicer to Balan.
The true Wonder World was the prison we ended up in along the way.
I'm just imagining him, like, begging and pleading Balan, like, please clear my conscience, and Balan just showing up and being like, fuck you, dude, go to hell.
I like that in the middle of all this, you had former Toshihiro Nagoshi, like the former lead for Yakuza Team or Yokogotoku Studios, currently with I want to say Tencent, but
or NetEase, one of those.
Yeah, no, you've just had him recently, just like posting his fucking drip.
Dude's been buying some sick shoes, and then he has like an Among Us with a snapback, and it's really good.
Yeah, he's
just living. He's just fucking living, and I love it.
It's been nice to have the side by side of just like the world of Yuji Naka crumbling down as we speak versus got the new hose, peep him out. So it's funny to think about just the way Yuji Naka's been having his whole shit turned inside out. Like, I can't think of well, no, there are multiple creators actually. Now that I say that out loud, as we were mentioning in like the chat for the Game Awards between Cliff Bleszinski, Randy Pitchford.
Please throw some respect on his name. It is Cliffy B.
Sorry. Cliffy B, Randy P, Kenny Lee, Geddy Lee, No, that's just the guy from Rush. But no, I think this is the first one where it's like, wow, you really got your comeuppance retroactively, but somehow, again, it's like the white collar crimes are the ones that are and end up being the most like punishable versus like the literal atrocities we've heard committed by other like game head directives and directors. And it's not just that. Keep in mind, like Yuji Naka loved to belittle people that worked on his ideas.
Yeah.
Like, don't get it twisted, but God, it's I guess my thought is like Japanese game devs. Who else has had it? I mean, Keiji Inafune has had his own fall from grace, but also fuck him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And his fall from grace is more like made bad games.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one is at least like, oh, you could see the well already drying up, and now it's like, what else can I cling to? The lies of Tommy Tallarico. It's like there's a whole
Oh God. The Tommy Tallarico stuff is kind of incredible.
It is amazing to see someone so committed. Like, God, I forget. There's a term for it. Not like parasocial liar, but like literally lying as easy as it is to breathe. Fucking ridiculous.
The dudes are out there. They're talking. They're doing shit.
We're gonna get them.
We're gonna get them.
Just guys being dudes.
Video games, y'all. Video games. All right. Well, that's it for the main show. We do have some questions. Let's answer them. Let's hear what folks are thinking, what they want us to answer, and you're all free to hit us up at videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com/ask. And you'll sound like these folks right here. Cello Buster asks, what award would you give the Chooch podcast co-host clockwise from you, or however it is you have your screen set up? I mean, I think it's all different for us. Just, I don't know. I guess it'll be me to Lorelei, Lorelei to Maverick, and Maverick to me. I guess we could do that.
Yeah.
Let me think here. I think Lorelei could be an easy most enthusiastic, like I think Solon would be up there too. But for sure, I mean, you're always just like, this is the best. Wow. This is amazing. So absolutely most enthusiastic. That would be my award for you.
Aw. Maverick would be most dedicated. Because you're here every week for 2 podcasts. Not only are you here every week for 2 podcasts, you're consistently dedicated to getting in the worst burns possible.
Wow.
In the more like Call of D's nuts. You're just very dedicated to getting those in. At least one every episode you're on of something. And I think you did it like 3 or 4 times last night during the Game Awards watch through. I gotta give you the dedication points for that one.
Thank you. All my life, I look at life as a game, and really, you just got to learn how to play it. And nobody's doing it like the way that I am.
That's true.
Rob Zachney, I'm coming for your crown.
Wow.
If they say we don't got a Rob Zachney, guess what? We got a Maverick Breton.
I agree.
It's like the Gamera to your Godzilla, but specifically Heisei Gamera.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Specifically them. John, I would give you the Pokemon Master. No, no, legitimately, I think like most consistent. I think having a very consistent voice and someone that, there's definitely some weeks where it just feels like, God, what's going on? What are the things that are happening? But I still feel like you are able to come through and at least provide enough of like a base for a lot of Chooch in general.
Mhm.
And that's very, very important. Having someone that can be so like capable in just supporting everything.
Thank you. And Bubs wins cutest couple.
That's right.
And then last question here. Anonymous asks, what kind of game would Al Pacino develop? Now, that is something that we didn't mention. Al Pacino was at the Game Awards for like no reason. I think Keeley's parents must have just called on a favor because they own IMAX, so they were probably just like, Al, go be on our kids' stupid little award show. And he did. And he gave the best performance award, and Christopher Judge, who plays Kratos, won. And he gave a real long speech, which it wasn't bad, but it was just pretty funny having everyone be like, "All right, man, wrap it up, dude."
He got played
off.
off.
Like, keep it going.
He got played off twice.
As the music was going, it's like he only got more amped.
Yeah,
so good.
I respect it. Like I'm glad that he was out there and he gave a shout out to almost everyone he wanted to. He said on Twitter that he wanted to shout at his wife some more and he wasn't able to, but you know what? Yeah, people deserve to get that credit. So I'm glad that he used that his platform to shout out folks and to give some insight and all that. Like, dude just seems cool. He seems cool. So, yeah, sure. But yes, also Al Pacino is there, and he did have to stand there and wait for Christopher Judge to be done. So like, everyone was just like, at least go get Al a chair, please. He's old, Like, but what would he make? What kind of game would he make? Do you think he would just make like a mafia kind of like, something Scorsese would be into, I guess?
I mean, the lowest hanging fruit here is Goncharov, the Disco Elysium mod.
Oh God!
That's what it is. Like, you can't. Mm-hmm. Everyone out there on Tumblr who's talking about, oh my God, Goncharov, best movie ever. Like, they're picturing Disco Elysium in their heads.
They are.
But to think about one that Mr. Dunkachino would genuinely produce, I think he would be into something narrative driven.
Mm-hmm. God, all the posts that were just saying like, your career is worth nothing, old man, because everyone was just calling him Dunkachino.
That I honestly I said it during the live watch was just like, I am fucking amazed that they didn't bring him out to just make a Dunkachino joke. Because it was popular on the internet last year, and that's usually what awards shows fucking do.
I mean,
yeah,
the
Keely's
part that people
a year behind.
The part that people forget is that if you do that, to some extent, you do have to recognize Jack and Jill.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think people don't want to recognize Jack and Jill. The other reason that you would recognize Jack and Jill is the bird in the chocolate fountain. The famous "Listen here, come slut" shitpost.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
The "Listen here, come slut." I forgot about that one. Oh my God!
This person actively in distress over a joke in an Adam Sandler movie.
I mean, I kind of understand in like a cosmic sense.
Someone's bird died for that. That bird is dead.
If you don't know that that's where it's from, yeah. Which the same thing with Dunkachino. Like, no one actually knows until you like seek it out, and you're like, oh wow, yeah.
That it wasn't actually a Dunkin' Donuts commercial. It was just a bad joke from.
Well, no, the best joke out of maybe one of the worst of Adam Sandler's oeuvre.
I don't.
I'm pretty sure there's a copy of Jack and Jill in this house somewhere.
I was watching Hustle, his newest one. I liked it so far. I still got to finish it, but he's good. He's at his peak as the guy who suffers a lot, but you actually want to get through things. That I saw that conversation he had with Brendan Fraser, and it's nice to know that the two of them get along pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, that's it for questions. Thanks everyone for sending some in. And if you want to continue to keep up with all the stuff we're doing, we've got our website, videogamechoochoo.com. We have our Twitter at VGChoochoo. We have our Tumblr, videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com. Or if you put an ask at the end, you can send in questions. Facebook.com/videogamechoochoo if you want to follow us there. I'll be honest, I mostly just use Facebook to people watch in well, initially I was in the Switch Facebook group because there's some pretty wild people there, but recently there has been a new land of opportunity opened up to me, and that is the pervert Facebook groups where they just post they just steal like art off of Twitter or Pixiv or whatever and put it in there, and all the reactions are so goddamn funny. Like today, I did see a guy like react to the same image like across at least 2 different days with the exact same image. Very funny. People are nuts. I love it. So honestly, I recommend you use Facebook, not for the reason that that it was designed for, but more just to look at the people. See how the people are. They're desperate. They're afraid. They really want rare Switch games. YouTube.com/videogamechoochoo and Twitch.tv/VGChoochoo. I think Scott's gonna probably be doing some Elden Ring PvP soon. Because he's Scott, and it's Elden Ring, and it's PvP.
Yep.
And that's
I gotta shout out his whole his commitment to the Living Game Award joke, and then realized way while into the stream that the Game Awards are in fact silver
and not gold.
Not gold.
Oh god, that was such a good night.
Yeah, we do have that stream up on our Twitch if you want to see it. Patreon.com/VGCC for $3 a month. You get a whole bunch of stuff early, plus some exclusive stuff. I think the only exclusive thing we have up there still is the tier list of anime characters that we would want on the podcast, on the anime podcast.
There is also the Bayonetta 3 spoiler cast Rose and I did.
That's right. Yes. I think, did you all release that for free eventually, or no?
It is still currently up on the Patreon, and
okay.
You know, the way that I feel,
that's
not
fine.
a bad call. Yeah.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Whatever works.
You gotta put in the money to get our sweet takes about
the Bayo takes. We got our Discord, the Game's Not Zone. You type that into your web browser and it'll bring you straight there. There you go. And thank you to Melt Channel Magic Circuit for our theme song Crush off of the album Magic is Real. If you want to listen to their stuff, it's meltchannel.bandcamp.com or magic-circuit.bandcamp.com. You can get that whenever you want, but do consider doing it on Bandcamp Friday, first Friday of every month, because they'll get a bigger cut. Lorelei, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at twitter.com/Judgment Scythe, and you can find me next week on Twitch at twitch.tv/Judgment Scythe, where next Saturday I'm making my official full-time streaming debut starting at noon Pacific, going all the way to midnight. I've got DJs, I've got ridiculous DGen garbage through the day in Final Fantasy XIV. So come on by, visit, say hi.
And Maverick, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Mavsplaniamania. That's at MAVSPLANIAMANIA, where I'm posting, I'm juking, I'm jiving. But to also promote a little bit, next week on Sunday, the 18th, my friends of the band No Jersey, over on Twitter at No Jersey No Prob, are going to be making a music video live stream event. At 8 p.m. That is through twitch.tv/No Jersey No Problem, but also at the website bandnada.com/ B/No Jersey. They did a lot of these through another band during the pandemic, and I often contributed a visual audio component to a lot of these, often through like a charity goal. And so I will be doing similarly for this event. That said, I realize that I have about 7 days to cook something up, so the fire's under my ass, but still check them out. Great people, great band, great music, and you'll see a bunch of other musicians in the tri-state area scene showing off their stuff as well. So check it out. That's December 18th at 8 p.m.
And you can find me at JOHN_MICHONSKI on Twitter. I'm not doing anything extra right now. I am posting some stuff here and there on a Old School Gamer magazine. I might be getting something in the actual physical magazine soon. We'll see. But that'll do it. Thank you so much for listening. We'll be back next week with another episode of the Video Game Choo Choo Podcast. So long.